Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all over the world. Dobson777a here. Well, I was just kind of perusing the news and see what we should talk about here. And it's very interesting information that's coming along. One, I don't know if you have seen China's digital yuan comes with an expiration date. So China is actually moving forward with a digital currency. And this is like weeks, if not months away, where it's going to be fully implemented. So they've been doing some trial runs, but one of the things that they've made a feature, because it's electronic, they can actually make it to where it expires. So when the economy is kind of struggling a little bit, they can make it to where, I don't know, it loses 10% a month or something. And so you've got to get rid of it. So I found that really interesting. It was an article on Zero Hedge talking about this, and it bypasses the SWIFT system, which is the currency control system that's in place that the United States controls, and has kind of blackmailed countries to behave. And so this will bypass all of that. So you can see the end is near for a lot of our currency advantages that we've had. The other thing that I saw was central banks are loading up, and it was really interesting. In this article, it talked about the London increased its silver fractional reserve pile by over 124 million ounces. Well, that's like an insane amount that it added up, because it only had 100 million ounces a few months ago, and so it nearly doubled it by March this March 2021 here. So I don't know where they got their silver when it's obviously been somewhat of a shortage, is what we're seeing, at least with the huge premiums and everything. But I've shown you also that the good delivery bars don't have that much of a markup. So that's what they're trading in, not the nice shiny stuff that we're buying. And then Hungarian central bank boosts gold reserves by 3,000% in less than 3 years. So look, I'm telling you, people are doing this. You got to understand, they just bought 63 tons of good delivery gold bars, and they went from 31.5 tons to 94.5 tons. That's a huge increase. I mean, when countries are doing this, they know something is coming. So I hope you're paying attention. I hope you can see what's really going on. So Carlos Alfonso, wonder how that'll affect the dollar. Linda Compton, hello from Spokane, Washington. Good to hear from you. Silverliner, that's a good way to increase velocity. Yes, it is. By the way, I've been hearing from some folks that they're not getting notifications. So if you're seeing this live stream, let me know if you saw the notification. I assume you did, but if you're not, you may have to unsubscribe and resubscribe again. I think YouTube's done some things to me again. My numbers are like way down. I did a video the other day you should really like, and it talked about the 30-year Treasury yield, and I was comparing it to what I think gold prediction is going to be. But it is a very interesting chart. So I've looked at that a couple different ways now. I do want to mention, I was at a big box store. I'm not going to say which one, because Useless Tube does not like it when you're mentioning company names, but it's one of the stores you got to have a membership. And I was in there getting a bunch of canned goods. I restocked my pantry, and then I have like a backup pantry where I have like the canned goods. And some of the things I've noticed over the last couple of years, you used to get corn in like a 12 pack, and now it's an 8 pack. And the same with green beans. They're now down an 8 pack. Well, you can only get 1 pack of corn, green beans, or tomatoes. 1 pack. Turns out I got 2 packs of mushrooms, and that was okay. But you can only get 1 pack of each one of these things. So I really thought that was strange that we're getting some shortages. In fact, they said even the paper goods, they've got notes that you can only get one at a time. I drink a little wine tonight. Yeah, I saw an article today talking about the dollar. And I forget how much currency they said just in the last year they've created. Like 20% of all currency was created just in the last year due to this um, scamdemic. So it's they're doing everything they can to try to get to inflation. We'll see what happens. Did you guys notice the volcano? I got some notes here that I try to, when I scan the news, certain things catch my eyes. Did you notice St. Vincent volcano and in the Caribbean? That that volcano is going to cause a lot of trouble. In fact, you know, they've had an eruption, but they think this is just a small one. They think it's going to be a massive one that's going to create some significant issues. So keep an eye out on that. So Christopher K, chance to get 1,000 bars from PSLV. I have enough shares for 2 bars. If I could get others to pull together to meet the minimum redemption of 10 bars. Yeah, Christopher, I will. I'll try to mention that in each one of the videos that you're trying to do that. Everybody keep in mind, good delivery bars are 30,000 or something. I don't know, something like that. It's a big, good amount of money. Funny you mentioned wine. I'm just having a glass of red wine also. Normally, I drink that musk. I can't think. I'm thinking about Mescal, but it's not Mescal. I can't think of the name of it now. It's a red wine. I normally drink red wine, but I had one bottle that I decided I better start drinking. Yes, the good delivery bars have very low premiums, but they're not pretty. They're doorstops. You could paint it like the color of a brick and nobody would even know. You could probably brick it into your wall and nobody would know and paint it red. It's probably a good way to hide silver. Jimmy Buffett wrote about the volcano in '79. He did, huh? Did he put it in a song? Yeah, ballast for a boat. That would work. Make it your keel. So what do you think about that digital Yuan? Yuan. How do you pronounce that? I always just say Yuan, but I hear people add like an extra consonant in there or something. Oh, a song. Okay. I'll have to look it up. I used to listen to a lot of Jimmy Buffett. Anybody notice I look a little younger? Well, that didn't last very long. That glass went down easy. So I was out there in the garden several hours late in the afternoon here. If you watched my last video, I showed a lot of things about the garden that I had my greenhouse like in full production. So today I planted pole beans. I planted my cucumbers because they were kind of outgrowing the pot. I planted cantaloupe. I planted zucchini, yellow squash. Let me think. A whole bunch of flowers, primarily marigolds right now, but I have more flowers. I got to plant tomorrow. So the garden is going gangbusters. I actually fertilized all my azaleas and all my roses about 6 weeks ago, and I was kind of on schedule this year for once. And holy mackerel, everything is just in massive blooms. I'm going to have to walk up and down the driveway and show you. It's looking great. So I noticed it's time again to get out there and fertilize. I usually try to do it before a good rain. So we just had a rain, so that's why I'm doing planting. But before the next rain, I'll get out there and fertilize again. Yeah, that expiration date is a wet dream of some of these central planners. So look out. I can't stand this kind of stuff. I did see an article. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It was a really interesting article. Okay. There's an article on Zero Hedge that says hedge funds implode as central banks get more gold bullion. And in the very bottom of this, it shows the money flower, a taxonomy of currency. I had never seen this before, but this thing, I'm going to have to study this because I think this is amazing, showing the interrelated things about gold, cash, private digital tokens, central bank reserves, bank deposits, everything, how they're interrelated. And it's a really interesting image that I'd never seen before, and I thought I was pretty well read. So anyways, I might use that as my what do you call it, the thumbnail, because I just think that was really cool looking. Patriot Man is in the house. Let's see. So we talked about so we called out Silver Heist, Christopher K, David Fox, Silverliner, and Patriot Man just joined us. He's not too late. Mr. Action 1. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with your screen. I got my hair colored a little bit, and it really toned down my super grayness that I had. Was going nuts. So you're probably wondering if there's something wrong with your screen, but I went and did it's similar to that stuff just for men, but they do it at a salon, and it only takes like 5 minutes. It's amazing. Ring that bell. Oh man, I'm telling you, those OSB plywood prices, unbelievable. I am so glad that I did my houses, everything I need to do when I did it, because it is astronomical. We need to get some wood the other day, and good golly, it was impressive how expensive that stuff was. Go all in 100%. Says, good evening, see your pictures regarding your garden and everything. You need to look at that last video I did. It shows a lot about the garden. Yes, it is astronomical, the prices. This is the beginning. Food inflation is what we've been talking about ever since I started my channel, because food inflation, I mean, they hit it at first with shrinkflation, where they started cupping up the bottom of the jars, and instead of 16-ounce cans, you get 14.5-ounce cans and stuff like that. I have a feeling they keep talking about a reset. We've had this, I've showed you the chart that I made where it's the pitchfork chart. I'm still expecting one day you're going to wake up and the price of gold, silver, platinum, whatever, all kinds of stuff is going to jump 30% overnight. You might see it initially like 10%. Then you might see another one that's like 20% or something. But it's not unheard of that it could just change 30% overnight. That would be a shock to everyone when that happens, which means the price of everything would go up astronomically. We got 30 people watching and 7 thumbs up. Oh, an outboard motor, you can't get one, huh? Well, most of that stuff is Chinese, Japanese stuff. I don't know how much stuff is even made anymore in the U.S., if at all. I haven't researched outboard motors in a while. I've still got a Mercury 125 at saltwater, and all it's going to be in freshwater now. So hopefully that thing will last forever. I couldn't believe it. That thing is almost 20 years old already and still just runs like a top. It's very low hours, but it's amazing how they make those things. They just last forever. I would love to get one of those 4-strokes now, because you wouldn't have to buy the oil to burn up with it. 4-strokes are so quiet in comparison. So how's everybody else's garden going? You guys getting your garden going? I'm really happy. Things are looking really good. I've got to get some cloth down on the ground though, because man, I'm fighting weeds like crazy. I gotta do better next year. I gotta get some cloth. Truck prices are outrageous. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me with um, it wouldn't surprise me the way wood prices and everything are right now. It wouldn't surprise me if it collapses the new home companies, because people aren't going to pay the price of the materials. They can't. You know, a lot of these homes were budgeted on a certain price, and now they get hit with this massive increase in material costs. Yeah, I saw the chip issues primarily with GM and everything. They're in trouble. They're actually idling some of their plants for several weeks till they can get some chips in there. Yeah, Spokane, Washington. That's a tough situation. I started a month later this year because I really struggled last year with my greenhouse and getting things in the ground too early. So I slowed way down this year, and I decided to wait till, I mean, it's nearly the middle of April before I planted. So my onions are looking fantastic. That video you see, it's they're doing really well. I still got 2 months before I got to pull them out of the ground, and then all my tomatoes and everything will be, going in, peppers, that kind of stuff, okra. That greenhouse was a fantastic investment that I did. It is so nice. Oh, and I've got some eggs. They're about day 17 right now that I've got in the incubator. So I got to start moving over to the hatchery. And so there's like 3 days left or so before they hatch. I forget if it's 20 or 21 days that they'll start hatching. So I should have a bunch of Rhode Island red chicks, I'm hoping, come out. I started some earlier in the year, but I think it was just too cold and it just did not work. So, oh, yeah, I forgot I had an article. I'm glad you talked about canceling building right now. Some of the contractors, housing contractors, are canceling until they get the price under control. I saw one of the mining companies said, we're not selling any gold and silver. We're going to keep mining, but we're not selling any until they see this price comes back up again. So I wonder how many other mining companies are doing the same. Have you heard that story? I can't remember the name of the company off the top of my head, but that's going to pinch supply a little bit. So, yeah, Denver is pretty far north and also altitude. Endeavor Silver. Okay. I couldn't remember. Yeah, you get a few more miners doing stuff like that. It almost becomes like a cartel. They start controlling the prices. Barb Rock chicks. I thought I would raise my Rhode Island. I got to do replacement Rhode Island Reds. So it's going to take 4 months to get them to where they're egg laying age. And then what I'm going to do is uh, get rid of my older hens or find another home for them. And then I'm going to grow some of the Cornish rocks. So those will be my meat chickens. Yeah, I got to do meat chickens probably in the fall, and then I'll be stocked up again. And I love those chickens; those sure do come out good. But I love my eggs too. All right, I want to tell you a recipe for hard-boiled eggs. I've just about perfected it. I'm going to say it works about 90% of the time. In fact, I did a video that showed you a magic trick how to de-shell them, but I'm going to tell you step by step how to do hard-boiled eggs because I do like 18 or more at a time. So I take a pretty good sized pot and I place my eggs around the bottom, and I usually have 3 layers as I'm going up. It makes almost like a little bit of a pyramid in there. And I fill it up with hot water from the tap, to where it's just above the eggs. I put it on the burner, and then I heat that water up until it gets to a hard boil. And then what I do is I leave it on the burner, but I turn off the burner. And you leave it there for, I'm going to tell you, I'm still playing with this a little bit, but it looks like it's about 13, 14, 15 minutes, something like that. Okay. So the burner's off, the water's really hot, and it cooks the eggs. Then what you do is you take it over into the sink, take the lid off, carefully kind of pour out the hot water. And then you take the cold water from the tap and you run it on the eggs for several minutes until, you're trying to stop the cooking. And you're trying to pull the heat out of the eggs as fast as you can. Now in Georgia, like some of the northern states, the water is pretty dang cold in the wintertime still. And then what I do, I kind of reach my hand in there. I kind of feel the eggs to feel, how warm they are, if they are or not. But as I start getting to the end, I take like one of these quart-size cups that I've got, and I fill it with ice, and I dump it in the ice, and I kind of stir it up with my hand, dump it in the water, and I stir it up with my hands with the eggs. I might dump some of the water out too. And I'll do that several times with the ice. And you want to, again, stop the cooking of the eggs, because if you let it go too far, then it's going to like turn the yolk green. And I found this works perfectly. But the other thing I found by, putting the ice in there and really getting it stirred up real good and everything, that kind of releases the shell from the egg. So you're kind of shocking it and shrinking it and everything. And then I immediately start doing my little mason jar thing where I put a little bit of water in there, put the egg in, and I just shake it. And it doesn't always remove the egg shell completely, but for probably more than half of them, it does. The other half, it breaks it up where it comes across. Just, it comes apart very easily. But I can do 18 eggs in probably, one every 30 seconds or something. And the eggs, they come out perfectly. So what was the reason I moved out of Florida? I had been in Florida for 40 years, and it was just where I lived in St. Petersburg. I was living on what they call a postage stamp, a lot. I really couldn't grow anything. I mean, I loved the fishing there and everything, but there was tons of people, just way too many. I saw that place just really grow up too much. So I came to Georgia because, one, I have like a couple acres. I got a much nicer house. I can garden, everything about it. It's much better living. The homes here, they have it like rural residential. I like that better rather than right on top of each other. I mean, the houses were maybe, I might be exaggerating, 30 feet apart. I mean, it's just really close together. First Majestic bought a gold mine. I'm telling you, diversification is the way to go. Remember, First Majestic got creamed last year on their stock price, but they're up like 30% this year so far. But, if you get diversified, we talked about Sylvania-Stillwater being diversified. They've done nothing but go up. You remember, silver has tremendous volatility. That's not a great thing to be invested in from being diversified. The Feds decided to stop releasing data, M3 data. Yeah, I saw that too. That just means they don't want anybody to really know what they're doing with the currency, which is not good. I mean, they really haven't been that open anyways. Christopher K, something it doesn't like about this. It doesn't, what's the hydro rescue thing? I don't know what that is. Oh, here we go. I see what you're doing. Christopher K, anybody that wants to contact him regarding getting 1,000-ounce good delivery silver bars, he wants to coordinate with you. St. Petersburg's pretty nice. They used to call it the home of the newlywed and the newly dead. $9.30. 41 people and 17 thumbs up. All right, so How many of you are starting to notice any rationing or limits in what you can purchase? I was shocked when I couldn't get what I normally get. It wasn't like I was really loading up that either. Yeah, God's waiting room, exactly. St. Petersburg was God's waiting room. Man, there are tons of nursing homes there. By the way, this North Georgia here, tons of nursing homes up here too. Actually, Sabine-Stillwater is all the PGM metals. So it's not just platinum, palladium, rhodium. It's also gold mining, everything. $20 thumbs up. We're making some headway here. Oh, I should have turned the fan on. Of course, I just drank that wine and it's got me warm now. I can feel it. Whew. I know why those Russians all get drink so much vodka and everything, because it's freaking freezing there. That helps them feel warm. It was nice being out there in the sun today. Yeah, I agree with you about the cup and handle, Jeff. And about the royal family, I have no idea what that's all about. Good God, I remember when they used to have the royal weddings, this thing, women would go nuts like Princess Diana and everything. It doesn't mean anything to me. I guess it's just some kind of tradition. It's a Cinderella story or something. Go to Florida on vacation, leave on probation. I hadn't heard that before. That's spring break, I guess. I should have cleaned my glasses. How many of you wear glasses? You all of a sudden you realize your eyes are super tired and you can't figure out why they're so tired, and you realize you've been looking through dirty glasses all day. And I'll tell you, all around St. Petersburg, that's some fantastic saltwater fishing right there in Tampa Bay. Gosh, I used to catch some beautiful fish. Cheaters, yeah. I keep thinking about doing that LASIK and everything, but I've just worn glasses my whole life, and I've thought about all the time the glasses have saved my eyes, working and stuff. So I probably would just have to be in the habit of wearing, safety glasses or sunglasses or something. If they do the LASIK, they kind of make you farsighted, so then you typically need to wear, glasses for reading. I have great close-up vision, though. What about you guys? So nobody's seeing any rationing? I saw Tractor Supply had a bunch of chicks at their store. I'm going to have chicks here in probably less than a week. I'll be making some videos of that. And I used to live in Florida, but I vacation in Florida. I would go get a place in Homosassa. It was a house with a dock on the back, and the little inlet would take you all the way out into the Gulf. And it was a pretty long ride from up in Homosassa all the way out. But it was beautiful first thing in the morning. Oh my God, I used to love that ride. But let me tell you something. You had to stay in the channel in that, because that was rock. I mean, it was limestone or whatever. You'd lose your lower unit. It was horrible. But it was a beautiful ride in the morning, and I'd come back like 11 o'clock, go get something to eat, and maybe go take another ride out for the, the afternoon. Yeah, go to your warehouse store and try to see if you can get you like 3 containers of green beans or corn or something. You might see signs. I never even saw the signs that they were doing limitations. Just when I went to check out, the thing was beeping at me. I was like, "What's wrong with this thing?" She said, "You can only get one of those, dummy." And I was like, "Oh, come on." And I thought one of the reasons people went to the warehouse stores because they were like doing restaurants and stuff. Yeah, I'd heard of people doing one eye for far vision and the other for close up. I don't know about that, how that would work. Seems like that'd give you a headache. Yeah, Supreme Court packing, it's like, have you noticed when the liberals don't like the answers they get, they try to change the rules? That's the way they get around things. I don't know how much longer we're going to put up with crap like this before we head to some kind of insurrection. Hard to say. Frozen pizza limits. Good grief. Tinfoil hats in the house. Wow, deep cycle batteries. I couldn't tell you how many pounds those batteries are that I've got. There's like 20 of them. Those things are heavier than hell. They got to be 80 pounds a piece or something. So I'm up there with you. That's like 1,600 pounds. I got on my list this year. I want to go get, the really good deep cycle batteries. I probably have 4 or 5 years left on these. I have a feeling with the way the food stuff is going, honest God, it doesn't matter how much money you're going to have, how much gold or silver you have. People are not going to sell if they have food insecurity. They're going to try to keep what they got. They're not going to be trading. It's going to be bartering. If I got some chickens and you've got something I want, maybe I want some beef or something, we'll swap. But we're not going to be trading hands with gold or silver or cash or anything else. I just noticed I got a whole bunch of batteries over here. Why is that? That's kind of weird. Gotta get these out of here. I got to clean my desk, folks. Yeah, why I got all these batteries here? Kind of weird. Put them over there. I think there's some things going on in the background where they're trying to build some conservative, like Google-ish type thing, some conservative YouTube-ish type thing, some conservative, whatever else you can think of type thing. And they're going to make them free, open society type things, and we will see if they're able to thrive. You know, the funny thing is the thing where you've got BitChute, it thinks that's a cuss word. That's funny. I don't know if you're spelling it wrong or not, but it censored it initially. I let it through Silverliner. So it's BitChute. 45 people, 25 thumbs up. Yep. James Madison once said legislatures can only legislate as much tyranny as the people are willing to take. The problem we have is some of these things like YouTube's been around a long time. It takes a long time to kind of work through all the bugs and make it as compatible. So it'll be interesting to see if people adopt it quickly. Oh man, I'm tired. My back was hurting doing all the bending over, planting things, weeding. I can't wait, man. Last year, I don't know if you remember the videos I had. You know how zucchinis normally, these skinny things are like that long? You know, my zucchini were like that big. They were like watermelon, medium-sized watermelon type thing. So I can't wait. Yes, the local gun store, I've been up here. They get shipments a couple times a week, and there's people waiting because they know when the shipments are coming in, and they can't keep anything stocked. Yeah, well, you know, my night time, I'm usually in bed probably about 9:30. I watch a little TV, but I'm usually lights out by 10:30 or 11. So this is my wind down time. Country folks can survive. I agree. Got to remember, I'm up at the crack of dawn, though. God dang rooster. He's like, let me out. What I don't understand is the stupid chickens are not cleaning up the yard like they normally do. I actually got to go down there and mow. Stupid big old grass tufts out there. It's almost like a bunch of lettuce field growing out there. So I gotta knock this down. Silverliner's got more lead than precious metals. I'd consider lead a precious metal right now with the prices they got. It's insane. I got to show you that comparison. I have this spreadsheet that I kept track of years ago, and so I have the prices from way back when, and I auto overlay today's prices to show you how much they've gone up since like Obama years to present. It's insane what I'm seeing out there. I mean, I think I used to buy 45 ammo for 20 cents a piece, and we used to think that was expensive. And now 380s are like $1 a piece. I mean, 380s like a little pea shooter stuff. I'm just kidding. I know somebody's got one. They're going to be mad at me for saying that. But, you know, almost everything's $1 a shot now. No, I don't have my rabbits back. That could change on a moment's notice. I've got someone, it's a little bit of a drive, but I can get some rabbits started back up. It'd take me like a year to build up my stock again, but it goes pretty quick. I just decided it's enough right now just doing the gardens and everything. Yeah, my chickens are, they're actually fun to watch. When we weed the garden, I bring all the stuff over there and throw it over, and they just pick through it. They think that's like a buffet. That's why I really don't like using anything in the garden because I try to keep everything as organic as possible. Just try to keep it healthy. Well, I didn't want to do a real long show tonight. I just wanted to get on here. Still kind of watching things. Platinum kind of fell back a little bit. It's in fact, let me go look, see what the metal prices are doing right now. All right, so gold is currently around 1740. Silver's at 2516. Now, real estate's really strong in this area, but we're outside the big cities, and I think that's the secret here. I'm so glad I didn't buy commercial real estate or anything else. The residential real estate is really hot right now in a lot of the areas. But with the new home builds, I think that's another problem. The new home build costs are so high for materials. Existing homes are getting bid up because people want to get out of the cities. So it looks like the decision I made in 2012 was hindsight looking brilliant right now, but you never know what's going to happen next. But right now, I keep telling everybody I'm blessed. I'm not stressed. I'm blessed. Most of us, you just don't realize the country you're living in, even though we see all this garbage that's going on, we still just have it so good. We're so spoiled. That's part of the problem. I think people haven't had a really rough time, and they don't understand how rough things can get, but we are super blessed. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, truthfully. I love this rural residential stuff. I'm near enough. I mean, just keep me near a Home Depot or a Lowe's or something where I can get the stuff I need. I'm happy. All right, folks, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. So I hope everybody's treating you well. I hope you're doing well. Do the best you can. God bless.